stage where this guy was playing, and it was a night to remember. No, that sounds bloody weird, because it sounds like we've had sex, doesn't it?
Well, we wouldn't be lying.
Hi, welcome to Top Table with me, Nick Church. I used to be one of those people that would think a DJ was someone that pressed play on the music, other people's music was playing, they just had to look cool, and I was quite jealous because I would quite like that job. That was until I met this guy, Kieran Clarke.
Hello.
At a wedding last year at Orchard Estate. It was Zoe and Chris's wedding, beautiful couple, beautiful venue. The issue I thought he would have was it was broad daylight in the middle of summer, and I thought this is going to be really difficult to get the crowd going. Well, after about 10 minutes, I would say, we had Zoe's dad doing air guitar in the middle of the dance floor. Everyone else was piling onto the dance floor dancing, and the night was going off brilliantly. And I thought, okay, that's some skill. And I realised then that entertainers do a lot more than it looks like. And so it's a real pleasure to have Kieran here today.
Thank you. Hello. Actually, just to stop you there, I also used to think photographers were just pressing a button until I met Nick.
Yeah, that is it. That is it.
And getting it in focus, obviously.
Yeah, well, sometimes. Right, some Kieran facts for you. Let's see how our researchers have done, because they didn't do great with Darren, if I'm honest.
They didn't.
Right, so born and bred in Cheddar.
Are.
That's Somerset language for yes. Kieran loved music and entertaining, and did even as a teenager when he was doing kids' parties, and then got picked up by bride and groom who wanted into their wedding. So was pretty impressive at such a young age. At 17, he became resident DJ of a really well-known local venue near Bristol. And I could have done that, but I wanted to focus on the smoking, really. Clarke Events is now a really respected team of people. Finally, the researchers say Kieran has some babies. Classic.
I do.
Right, okay, that's good just as well. We wouldn't want that to be news to other people, like your family.
Well, I think I have some.
All right, so it's great to have you here, Kieran. It's been a while since we worked together. It's 2018, I think, wasn't it? Zoe and Chris's, although we were cum laude, I think, last year sometime as well. I'm always really amazed with Kieran how smooth and relaxed he seems on the outside, and that's what I think gets people really disarmed and having fun. But I also see behind the scenes where he's on the phone all the time, making sure all of his other team members, there's no problems going on and things are going to work perfectly. I think that's really impressive. That time at Zoe and Chris's wedding, when you got everyone up in broad daylight, how did you go about doing that? What's your sort of...
Well, I guess it just all starts from when you arrive. Like, I'm always looking for like that class clown who stands out in the crowd that you know is going to have a good impact on your dance floor. And I used to be, or I am that person. So it's great to see people when you turn up having a good fun. And when you turn up at a venue, it's easy to notice who that person is. So unfortunately for Zoe's dad, when I arrived for their wedding, he was stood up doing a speech, and he said lots of funny things about Zoe, and I just thought that I knew that when they did the father and daughter dance, and it was Sweet Child of Mine, Guns N' Roses, and got Zoe's dad on the floor on his knees doing an air guitar.
And he didn't need much encouragement, did he? So you found the right person, give him a little bit of a nudge.
Well, I think Zoe was encouraging him slightly as well, but he did it good.
Describe your approach to that sort of thing. I mean, in getting the crowd and working the crowd, what's the...
It's my expectation to what is a good party. Now, that's what I'm there to do at a wedding, and that's what I'm booked for, is to create an atmosphere that the bride and grooms maybe might expect to have into the build-up of their wedding. And the pressure is on me, but I think a good DJ has to pick a time to do it. Now, at Chris and Zoe's wedding, it was a perfect time to do it straight after the first dance, because you also pointed out that it was a nice sunny day. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, the videographer, the photographers there, they haven't got a long time at the venue. So you'll be leaving roughly at about 8:30, 9 o'clock, around about that time, normally, unless something else is arranged. But I think that I need to get people on the dance floor really quick, and so you can get your photos.
And is there a case of, I guess, if it doesn't work soon, then it probably never will, because once people lose confidence in an entertainer, you've had it, right?
If you lose that moment, you've lost it, and to try and get it back isn't impossible, but it's a lot harder to. Right. And I think by song choice you could easily ruin that. You have to pick your crowd, pick your songs, that kind of stuff.
So do you sometimes change? Do you adapt what you've planned for on the night?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. I think, like, you know, it's probably similar to you, Nick. Like, you turn up to a wedding and, you know, you may have shot at that wedding venue so many times, but if the bride and groom are maybe slightly a little bit shyer, or don't want, you know, the limelight, you may take them away a little bit further into the deeper, darker places of that venue that you can get a photo, just to kind of relax them slightly before they do the group photos and that kind of stuff.
Cool, right.
On Chris and Zoe's wedding, they hired our inflatable horses, and I think any bride and groom who are happy to have 4 big inflatable horses at their wedding, they're going to be crazy. They're going to love a good party and also like to do different things. And,
so this is like it's the knockout type.
Yeah,
that's something that's a reference for the teenagers.
I can vaguely remember that even when I was blowing them up, hence with a machine, not by my mouth, that people were queuing already to go on them.
What do you love about a wedding that makes you put so much effort and passion into it?
Well, luckily I've got a job that when you turn up, that everyone 9 times out of 10 are happy. So turning up to a wedding where people have been fed under the influence of a little bit of alcohol, usually people are happy, and because I'm the DJ and I'm that next part of the day, people are always happy to see me. And because I have such a good relationship with lots of our couples, people know who I am, they are looking forward to me turning up, because music plays a big part in a wedding, so I'm lucky with that way, and also chirpy chappy, so, you know, I've got to be go up to the bride and groom, say hi, and just good experiences, guys, really.
Do you find that are there some weddings that take more effort than others to get people going and get people? Because every wedding I've seen you work at, it ends up in a really awesome evening and everyone's up for it. But I can't imagine they're all the same sort of family. So you managed to work out how to get each party up to the same sort of level. Is it harder sometimes than others?
I'm not gonna lie, you know, not every single wedding that I do and that we do are all raves. You know, but alternatively, my main goal is to get the bride and groom and the guests to come up and say thanks at the end of the night. We've had a good night, and that doesn't always mean that people have to dance to have a good night. You know, I've been to lots of weddings, you know, that people haven't danced so much, which I don't panic about. You know, I think you just have to step back and then look at your crowd and go, well, actually, no, tonight's not going to be that night. And just a little bit of advice for the people that are watching is that don't try to force things that aren't going to happen, like a first dance, say, for instance. I know that, you know, it's always a priority for a bride or groom to have their first dance, and you don't want to push it, so, you know, happily put it back an hour if you can do it.
Because I think in the evening event particularly, that's been something that hasn't happened this year because of the COVID. How have you found that? I mean, what's going on
with COVID? So COVID has obviously hit my business massively, the same as it has so many other people and so many other industries. But how COVID has affected me, I think the first lockdown back in, like, was it April?
Yeah, March,
April. Yeah. It didn't really affect me too much because I kind of thought it was going to be it was like a holiday. Yeah. You know, I had the Christmas season. March, I was doing some things around the house. It was spending some time with the family. It was essentially, in the nicest way, it was fun for me. And that's not always a nice thing to say because I know so many people lost, you know, weddings and things like that, which I do feel deeply sorry for.
This year has been carnage. Have you been doing other things? What have you spent your time doing?
I have spent a lot of time with the family, spent a lot of time emailing couples, and also I have spent a lot of time just waiting for things to improve. When they haven't, which is annoying. But just trying to keep myself busy. And also people are inquiring about birthday parties and that kind of stuff. We don't always just do weddings. Right. So birthday parties. But COVID, it has been the main subject of that inquiry. They will always ask our terms, that kind of stuff, for cancellations and that kind of stuff. And we're not expecting people to be putting down big lumps of sums of money to secure their date. You know, we've also been flexible as well.
Yeah, right.
So, well, I got to take my little daughter to see Santa.
They sit on his knee and all that business.
That's against the law now.
Oh,
you clearly haven't sat and saw Santa's knee
not for 14 years.
Yeah, no, unfortunately, in this day and age, you can't sit on Santa's knee.
That's the disappointment.
I know.
I wasn't going to suggest it myself. That would be illegal for health and safety grounds rather than...
He would be saying ho ho ho.
I fractured my pelvis.
Yeah.
All right, so... How old's your kids then?
I've got a new... Well, I'm going to say new. She is 6 months old. Her name is Macy. I have a 3-year-old daughter called Rhea.
Wow.
It also, as well, like with the whole kids thing, like it's difficult to do emails and different things like that. But like you were saying earlier, before we had this on camera, that you adapt to the times where bride and grooms are at home. Yeah, so your busy time is 7 o'clock till 10 o'clock. You might have to do 4 emails because you know, and then you don't want to wake up the next morning knowing that you've got 4 emails, and then they turn into 8, and then it keeps going. I find, like, you know, I get the venue emails in the day, and then I get the bride and groom emails in the evening. Yeah. So it's actually 24 hours round the clock. Yeah.
Then at least with photographer, we're leaving about 9, half 9. You know, by 10 o'clock, often 10:30, I'm back here with a glass of wine. So you're still working.
Well, I think, to be honest with you, that has been the one one good thing about COVID, is that the fact that I haven't had to do, well, when I say me, when Holly was probably do most of them, but haven't had to do too many evening feeds under the influence of tiredness of being at a wedding till 1 o'clock. So that was one good thing about COVID, that when it hit, I didn't have to deal with all that kind of stuff, being tired.
Fucking forget about COVID.
Bloody thing.
We talked about garden games. What's your suite of products that you can offer? So
our main priority, obviously, and main product that we offer is DJing. Mm-hmm. We're all about fun, and if you know, we don't always push packages towards you, but we do offer packages like we do DJ, our garden games, and a photo booth.
Right. So the photo booth is often where that's when me trying to get photos of people goes downhill, because once a photo booth, everyone wants to have a photo. In there.
They do, and they're great fun. They also get people together, and you know, being a bit silly. I think you know that's what they offer. You know, whereas with you know, if someone's going to take a photo, they automatically think that they need to be formal or something like that. But it doesn't always have to be like that. You know.
No, well, I'm trying to at that point go around and get photos where people don't really, you know, they're so, hopefully by then they're so used to me. Yeah. If they're doing shots, whatever, I can get behind the bar, just get photos of that, and they just carry on as normal.
Yeah, know? I think, you know, with a photo booth during close, and you've got the silly hats and wigs and stuff, and I mean, obviously it prints out instantly on the night, which is popular. And one thing that I do like about the photo booth, it gives you the opportunity, well, the bride and groom, an opportunity to have something to take home, like the photo album with all the photos in it. So. Do
you see trends in this stuff? I mean, our photos, I got the sense last year there's not as many around. Are you seeing it?
No, there definitely has been a decline. Of photo booths from, you know, like 2018 to 2019. Right. We still have photo booths, but I think they've just become an expected thing at a wedding. And I think sometimes bride and grooms just have one, you know, because they know that they're fun. You know, so. First dance special effects. We don't have a magic mirror, but we do the first dance special effects, like the dry ice, the confetti cannons, which we love. Venues don't love them so much. They do make a lot of mess, but
they're good for a photographer, though.
Good for a photographer.
Oh, yeah. For that, sod the mess. Some questions from a couple of Facebook groups. All right, so these are always sensitive one at the start here.
Okay,
right. We can't decide between a DJ and a band.
Oh, I get asked that question a lot of the time. With a band, now I'm going to be very honest. I'm a DJ, and
bands are dicks.
No. When I get married, I would love a band.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that having an aspect of live performance at your wedding is great.
Yeah.
However, I think the best option is to have both, all depending on budget. So you know, if you can justify spending that amount of money on having a band and a DJ, I think that is your best scenario of entertainment, because a DJ will be able to host and also accommodate the band, and because if you find a good DJ, the DJ should be able to adapt his set to accommodate the band. You know, and make the band maybe the main act of the night. Whereas, you know, I think if you went for just a band on their own, because unfortunately maybe your budget might not be able to stretch that far, then you've got a band that will play for 2 hours over a 5-hour period. Now that's more downtime than it is playing.
Yeah, true.
Whereas my set list is endless. You know, I can play from R&B to, you know, rock or whatever you want. So I think in my answer to the question is I would either have both or have a DJ.
There we go, that's your answer. And that was from Andrew. So there you are, Andrew, that's your answer. Simone says, what's the worst thing that's happened at a wedding?
So the worst thing that's happened at a wedding, I remember that I was playing the first dance, and it was back in the days where Ed Sheeran was played at every single wedding, and it was Thinking Out Loud. And luckily, I knew the lyrics very well, but the music actually cut out because annoyingly one of the guests pulled the power plug out, and luckily I knew the words very well, and I carried on singing the part of the song, which I did actually get I wouldn't say it was a standing ovation, but I definitely got a clap by the guest, and a
polite splatter of applause. So no, that's decent. Fair play to you. Does that happen often? I mean, is that something that you have backup plans for any kind of kit malfunction or whatever?
Yeah, so we've always got backup. You know, as long as we got power, we've got backup, essentially. You know, having like spare mixers, or even carrying like your iPhone that I could just plug in really quickly if my mixer broke, that kind of stuff. I think, you know, it's really important to have a backup.
I was at a wedding in South Wales last year, and the DJ had forgotten a cable to go from the desk to the deck, or no, from his laptop rather, from the laptop to the mixing desk thing. And he was in an absolute panic about it. And you know, when you get to that point when if you remember the time of your life when something really bad's happened and you're panicking so much you can't think clearly, and he got taken to the local Sainsbury's big supermarket to see if he could find stuff, and then he disappeared, and they found him led down in one of the aisles, and he was a big gentleman, and they thought that he maybe died, and he was just at such a meltdown point. And I had a look at it, and you know, geeky background, I thought, well, that just looks to me like it should be a printer cable. It's like a USB thing to a square USB. So I asked if they had a printer cable. Sure enough, it all came to life. But he came back, and I thought he'd be really pleased. But he said, I can't continue. He was so wound up and stressed. They had to get someone else in. What's your strangest first dance request that you've had?
So this one.
This is from me. This question.
Is it? Okay. I definitely didn't expect this question, but my strangest first dance was by an absolutely amazing couple, and they got married at Aldwick Estate. And this couple, they didn't know their first dance. So throughout the meal, they literally went round and got every one of their guests to write a first dance and put it into a hat. And they didn't know what their first dance was. So on the first dance, they had to put the hand in the hat and pick it out. And at that point, I did say to them that we may have to do 3 pick out the hat. If I don't have the song, then, you know, but this first dance was the Macarena.
Right.
So they picked out the hat, Macarena, and I played it. And it had the best response ever.
Oh, cool.
So it was the Macarena.
But you said that you've got wedding bookings coming up now for that are coming in, and I'm seeing the same, which is great to see things start to move again in terms of planning weddings.
Yeah, well, we actually have a booking process where you can, like, you know, tick boxes and that type of stuff, and you can kind of design your own package. And at that point, you know, you can go through the process and then pick and decide what you want to go for, and at the end of the process it will give you the package that's best suited for you. And that will apply like a slight discount if you know add like different things to the package. Essentially, the more you add, the better deal you get, which isn't always what we want you to do, because you know we want you to, or you just don't always look for the best price. We want you to have something that you want,
and it fits the budget.
It fits the budget, And I think the best thing is always ask. I hate and when I say lose, I hate couples deciding to book with other DJs over something really small. So
you could adapt things. To fit.
Always get in contact. And let us know what you think about what we're offering you, and we can adapt.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Well, listen, any brides and groom that are watching this, I think what this shows is the importance of meeting your DJ, and that it isn't something which, as I said right at the start, that I've been accused of, or not accused of, guilty of in the past, is to just think that it's quite a similar thing. I think there's a massive difference between the best DJs and the ones that aren't so capable, and I think you're definitely in the former category. And
thank you.
Always worth chatting with suppliers, seeing what they're like and seeing how they're going to adapt to these situations, and really that's what this channel is all about, is so you can see that. So if you're enjoying these sessions, please subscribe, click notification bell as well so you can see all future videos, and thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.